On January 15, 2013, the Archdiocese of Chicago, Illinois, turned over 6,000 church documents detailing sexual misconduct among local clergy. Proponents of the disclosure, including victims themselves, have worked 9 years to bring this evidence to public, and now hope to shed light on the somewhat darkened inner workings of America's third largest Roman Catholic diocese. Cardinal Francis George advised his flock that these documents, including victim statements and personnel complaints pertaining to about 30 priests, have been given to the attorneys who represent the victims of those priests. The turnover is part of settlements between the Archdiocese and the victims. Their advocates hope that the disclosure will expose the Church for decades of silence and pattern of protecting child abusers from justice. The Archdiocese has responded by apologising. Bishop Francis Kane, speaking at a news conference convened by the Church to announce the release of evidence, apologised openly to all victims affected by these sins and crimes. Victims' attorneys say they intend to make the information public very soon. One of those victims, 62-year-old Joe Iacono, praised the disclosure, saying hopefully it will help others out there struggling to come forward and get help. This sentiment is echoed by Peter Eiley, Midwest Director of the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, also known as SNAP, who wants all Chicago Catholics to read the formerly private documents. It's physical material, evidence and truth, Eiley told the Christian Science Monitor. It's something that can't be denied and wished away. I'm willing to work out anything, but as far as plea deals and things like that, I feel like that would be me taking down on the Word of God and stepping down on how we believe. These defiant words were pronounced by Pastor Andrew Hamblin of the Tabernacle Church of God in La Follette, Tennessee. So what was Pastor Hamblin so boldly unwilling to compromise on? Hamblin, star of the National Geographic Network's reality show Snake Salvation, insists on his right to ignore a state law in effect since 1947, barring the possession of certain breeds of poisonous vipers, because the Gospel of Mark, chapter 16, verses 17 and 18 says, "They shall speak with new tongues, they shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them." So far, Hamblin is not insisting on his right to ingest sulfuric acid. According to the Pakistan Institute for Peace Studies, in 2012, no fewer than 537 Pakistanis lost their lives in sectarian violence. This represents an increase of 71% over 2011. Following violence at a Sunni seminary in Rawalpindi late last year, 32 sectarian groups signed on to a voluntary code of conduct prohibiting hate speech. However, the promise carries no force of law and has accomplished little or nothing towards curbing the attacks. The main feature of the code is a promise not to declare others as non-Muslim, an action which creates an out-group mentality, which often leads to violence. Those signing the code also promise to form or attend local conferences promoting religious tolerance. The code also includes a push to beseech Parliament to make these ideas enforceable under the nation's legal framework. In a quote to the Christian Science Monitor, the head of the Pakistan Ulema Council, Tahir Mahmood Ashrafi, said, "If we don't put an end to such fighting, Pakistan will suffer, and the rest of the world won't be spared either." Ashrafi should know he was a member of the Sunni group Sipah-e-Sahaba, an organisation disbanded by the Pakistani government in 2002 due to their ties with militant groups.